Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about helping your veterinary practice attract, engage, and retain clients. Broadcasting a new podcast every Monday from sunny Southern California, here's your host, Brandon Bashirs.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode number 138 of the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create offers for your veterinary practice. This is something that I think is going to be extremely valuable and very important for you. As I do more digital marketing for different companies, the one thing that really determines whether or not ad campaigns are successful or not successful, and when I say successful, I mean, do they produce positive ROI for the client? The number one thing that determines that is what is the offer and is it something that the clients actually want. So this is going to be very helpful for you. If sometimes you feel like you struggle with what's the ROI of the marketing that I'm doing, probably you don't have a defined offer that you know is going to convert. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. If you're doing any kind of marketing on social media or ads or anything like that, you want to have a ROI positive offer. This is going to be a good episode for you so that you can get clear on that. So before we begin, a few things. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or on Google Play. And if you could do me a huge favor, please leave me an honest review. That would be very helpful. It helps to get rankings and stuff up. So if you can leave me an honest review, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'd also like to mention this episode is being sponsored by usedvetequipment.com. Go check out usedvetequipment.com. It's a website by Brad Haven. It's been online for 5 years now, almost 6 coming up soon. The slogan of Used Vet Equipment is that they bring buyers and sellers together. So if you have any used equipment sitting around in the storage room that maybe you want to sell, or maybe you're looking to buy used and save some money, they have everything from cages and kennels, x-rays, ultrasound surgery and laser equipment, lab equipment from IDEXX or Abaxis, tables, tubs, sinks, all kinds of miscellaneous items as well. So if you're looking to sell or buy, you should go check out usedvetequipment.com. It's kind of like eBay for vets. The website works great. It's set up really, really nicely so that both the buyer and the seller are protected, and you can sell your used equipment there today. So head on over to usedvetequipment.com, go check out the testimonials, and when you check it out or talk to Brad, mention that you heard about it on the podcast. I'd also like to mention, if you haven't done so already, be sure to go over to the Facebook group, The Veterinary Marketing Nerds. If you go to facebook.com/groups/The Veterinary Marketing Nerds, you can sign up to be in that group. It's a great place to collaborate, get ideas, ask questions, all kinds of good stuff like that. If you go to the Facebook page for the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, you can click the button that says Join Group, and it will take you to the group as well. All right, so let's get into today's episode, creating offers. So why is creating offers so important? So typically, right now, what I do for my clients is we figure out the best way to connect the audience and the people that are potential customers with offers. And it's basically, that's all digital marketing is. You're taking attention and you're trying to turn this attention into people that are customers. Content is a good way to segment and find the people that you're going to want to target. So we talked about content creation, and it's extremely, extremely important. But if you don't have an offer that you know your clients actually want, then you're going to have a problem. So, and I find too that a lot of times the clients that we have to take more time with to figure out exactly what we should sell or how we should sell it, how we should word it. If people aren't clear specifically about what their clients want, then it's a lot more difficult to sell them in general. And so when I say sell too, I know that makes a lot of veterinarians and veterinary professionals uncomfortable. It's not like we're out here just slinging stuff all the time. We're trying to find people that are interested in what you have and then promote it in a way so that they can take action. So we're trying to find the people that want what you got, and then we're saying, hey, here's what we have. If you would like some of it, here's the next step. So it doesn't have to be pushy or sleazy or anything like that. I know that a lot of people assign different meanings to the word selling, but ultimately we do need to make sales so that you can keep your doors open, so that you can attract new clients and things. So let's talk about how do we define specific offers? Now, when I talk about offers, I mean if you're going to be doing Facebook ads or AdWords or different kinds of paid media, how should you try and attract those new customers or your existing customers? And that's what the offer is. So specifically, it's going to be a way for a client to take action, and then it's going to be very, very clear what they're getting, what's in it for them, and then how to take the next step. So throughout the offer creation process, what we're always trying to do is make it as simple as possible for the person to take the next step. So you can do this tons and tons of ways, and it can get very complicated, or you can make it very, very simple. So before we begin with kind of the more in-depth parts about how to set it up and how to execute the offer and how to get people to take action, let's talk about what your clients actually want. So if I asked you, or if you said to me, or a client came up and said to me, hey, I want to get some Facebook ads running so that I can get new clients, I'd say, great. Let's figure out what to offer them to get them in the door. And a lot of times, what people in the veterinary industry especially will say is, well, I don't want to necessarily give anything away. I just want them to show up. And I totally understand you want people to show up and just pay full price. But initially, especially if you're doing new client offers, you have to give them some kind of incentive. And hopefully it's an incentive that they actually want. So that's something that you need to consider before you begin creating offers. But the next thing to consider is, what do your clients actually want? So I think that there's nobody better to know exactly what your clients want, because you get to interact with them every day. But at the same time, since you're in the business every single day, usually if you're so close to the problem, you can't really see the solution just because you're so close to it. So there's a few things that I think you should be looking out for in order to create offers in your practice that people actually genuinely want and that it feels like a big value for them. So if you are in a practice and let's say you're a practice owner or you're a vet, or you work inside of a practice, you definitely are dealing with the clients. So when you're dealing with the clients, it's important that you're considering what they're saying. So depending on who you are, they're going to say different things to you. So for example, if you're the receptionist, you're going to have a very different experience with the client than the vets. And if you're the vet, you're going to have a very different experience than the receptionist. So it's important, too, that you get collaboration from other people in your practice and figure out what's being said and really start asking questions. So usually clients will tell you what they want. So if you have situations where people are calling in, they're asking for something, maybe they're asking certain questions over and over again. Maybe they are mentioning that you wished you did something a different way. Are people requesting to purchase certain products? Do people want to do the purchase method a certain way? And I'll kind of explain this in a little bit more in detail here. But really, what is the engagement that you're getting and the kind of feedback that you're getting in real time? And you might not necessarily take it as feedback, but typically in the past, when I've had client interactions or was doing any kind of selling with clients where I'd be interacting with them and selling them things, they would express what they wanted or what they wished they could have. So, for example, let's say you are taking phone calls from people coming in and they're asking what time you're open till. And you say, we're open till 4:30, and then we close, right? And there's something. They say, oh man, I have to be at work until 6, so that doesn't work for me. But thanks, right? So they're telling you, they didn't really say anything to you, but what they're saying is they wish you were open later. So in that sense, maybe creating an offer where you have extended hours or special program for people that have extended hours or, something. I'm just thinking that sounds pretty difficult to implement, but that is an example of something that people wished you had. Maybe people ask for certain brands of dog food. Maybe people ask for certain treatments. Maybe people ask for certain kinds of information or opinions on information or, perspective on certain products. Maybe that they're asking too, or complaining about wait times. Maybe they're complaining about conditions in the office. It could be a ton of things, but what are the clients telling you that they like or dislike? And then how can you change it so that they like it, or create a product around them liking it? And so let's talk about that in just a second here. So let's say you wanted to increase your new client base, and let's say you had a practice that was in kind of a more industrial area, and you wanted to start attracting people that were in office buildings, for example. So maybe you could create an offer. So if you noticed that people were either dropping their dogs off on the way to work and then wanted to pick them up on their way home from work, you could create a special offer for those people that made it very, very convenient for them to take their dog on the way to work, drop them off, and then pick them up when they were done with work. And so that's a very niche offer, and depending on where you are or kind of what your demographic is that you're looking to attract, it could be actually pretty helpful. So that's just for example. But think about, the truth is, you know your clients better than anybody else. You know what they want. You know what they frequently buy. How can you package it and create something that is going to be of value or of perceived value that they're going to want to take up? Okay? So here's a few pointers and tips in general in creating offers. So first off, your offer needs to be extremely clear. I'm thinking of a time where I had somebody that was asking for marketing help, and they had a business. I don't want to mention it because they might be listening, but they had a business and they said, I just need new clients coming in. And so I said, okay, sounds great. What's the one thing that you'd like to sell and increase? Which area? And this person came to me and said, well, can I show you my website? Because I have this product, and in order to get this, they need to get this and this and this. And then I would really like for them to also take a look at this and consider, this specific product series, which they have to come in a certain number of times and get this kind of medication. And it was very, very complicated, and it was very confusing. And so if you're not able to convey exactly what it is, who it's for, and how much it costs to get it, you're not going to have a successful converting offer. So I think with offers, simplicity is better in general. And I'm thinking of, even some of the most successful businesses out there. One that comes to mind immediately is In-N-Out Burger, which I love In-N-Out Burger. They are simple. They have basically 3 choices. You have a hamburger, a cheeseburger, and French fries. And that's it. And there's variations of those, and their secret menu and all those cool things. But they have built their business on simplicity. Their offer is extremely clear. You know what you're going to get every single time you go there. And it's been really, really successful for them. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that for your entire practice, but having an offer that's so simple to convey is very, very helpful. And especially when people's attention spans are so short, it's extremely important that you're able to say, hey, if you are a puppy owner, you're going to want to see this because we have this special that does X, Y, and Z, and you're going to love it. And that's super clear. So aside from being clear and easy to understand and easy to convey, it also needs to have really solid value. So if people, especially if people don't know you, they're going to need a reason to do business with you. So this is important that it makes sense for them. We'd all love for people just to come and stop by inside of our business and just dump money. But the truth is that just doesn't happen. You have to, unless you have built up status or it reflects a status symbol for people to come and do business with you. Or, there's a few other reasons why people would come and spend crazy amounts of money with you. But if you're creating offers, and specifically, I can't think of anything in the veterinary industry specifically. Actually, I can think of a few people. Maybe people would spend ridiculous amounts of money to go have Dr. Evan Anton be their vet just because he has a brand built up. Or, Dr. Cody Krillman. But anyways, it has to offer amazing value, and that value has to be easily conveyed as well. So people aren't just going to come and buy premium stuff from you simply because it's premium and they just want to spend tons of money. I'm not saying that you can't have premium offers, but it needs to have value, especially to get them in the door. And then to get them coming back and over again, you can do that for different reasons. But for the initial visit, they need to have, some kind of amazing value. Now, that value can be conveyed not necessarily in discounts. You could offer premiums, which is value on top of it. You could also offer additional convenience, typically things that are of value to the target market that you're looking to serve. So I mentioned that example of the business professional dropping their dog off. That's super convenient, right? Instead of having to take their day off to go to the vet, sit in the vet hospital for 4 hours. I don't know how long they're going to sit for, but they're going to waste their whole day off going to the vet. It's such a bummer. They'd much rather be doing other things, and so that's valuable to them. So that's very, very important, and it needs to be also easily conveyed. So when you're creating your offer too, we're mentioning the value. In order to create value for somebody, you're going to have to define who you're creating that offer for. And I like to do this with the customer avatar, which is, I believe I have an episode on defining your ideal customer. You can choose to do business with whoever you want to, and that's the beauty of defining your ideal client. So figuring out exactly who they are, what they do, what kind of pets they have, what kind of pets you're going to be working on, budget type constraints, things like that. It's very, very important to become very clear on who you're going to be creating this offer for. So that way you'll know what's valuable to them, what they care about, and what their pain points are, how to solve those pain points, and then also how to address their beliefs and other things. But in order to get that value delivered, you're going to have to be really, really clear on who it is, and then also what they're interested in. So once you have those things defined, typically, and especially if you're going to be creating offers where you're trying to generate new clients, for example, one of the things that I hear a lot from practices is, okay, well, we don't want to just get people that are into getting things for free. I don't want to just get people showing up for a free lunch. And I totally get it. You want clients that can have budget, that can afford to bring their pets in, that can take care of their pets properly. If you're going to pay for advertising, you're going to want to be targeting a certain level of client. Totally get it. Totally makes sense. So the next kind of thing that I like to add into an offer is that you explain why you're giving away such a tremendous value. Otherwise, people will just simply expect free stuff from you. And so in order to combat that, you have to give them the reason why you're doing this. And typically I like to say, if you come into our practice, we'll earn your business for life. So give us a chance to earn your business. And people like that because you're willing to work hard. People typically like people with a hard work ethic. People like to give things when they've been earned, especially. And so you're asking for an opportunity to earn their business. And in most cases, people understand that and they'll get it right away. And of course, everybody likes a good deal. But if you start out with that kind of a relationship expectation that this is a one-time thing and you're going to love it, we're just asking that you give us a chance. And in asking us to have a chance, here's this awesome offer that has so much value. So that is something that's, I think, very important, that's often overlooked in digital marketing when it comes to veterinary practices. Now, the next part of an offer is scarcity or exclusivity in general. So there needs to be some kind of a time limit or time frame on it in general. I don't like to have offers that are just sitting out there forever. So, for example, if I said, hey, I am opening up my client list. If you want to work with me and if you would like to have me do ads for your veterinary practice, here's the deal. It's going to be 3 months for free. And, just whenever you feel like it, let me know. And I'm happy to work with you. So if I create a really good offer that is conveying a lot of value, and by the way, that's not a real offer right now, just to let you know, it's just an example. But there has to be a reason for people to take action now. Because if there's not, they'll just say, oh, if it's around, I'll just get it later. There's no real reason unless they need to come in for a sick visit or if they have a serious issue that's happening. They're not going to be interested in coming to get, preventative care when they can do that anytime. They'll just continue to put it off. So creating scarcity means, only offering a certain number of them, maybe per month or per week. And then exclusivity, that's the same thing. It's only available to certain segments of your list, possibly. And then also time limits. So, we're trying to bring on new clients this beginning of this month. And so between now and the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to get this offer. But after 2 weeks, it is over. And we're going to close this up so that nobody else can get it. So just giving people a reason to take action now instead of putting it off, because people are procrastinators. They love procrastinating. And especially when it comes to spending money or taking care of things that are generally considered to be hassles, which I think anytime going to the doctor or the vet, that's pretty much considered a hassle. So at least likely in the client's eyes. So they're not looking to give themselves extra work unless they have a reason to justify it. So people love to, justify their emotional decisions with logic. And so, somebody saying, okay, I'm going to go and do this thing that's extra work for me. I am doing this and getting this out of the way because of this reason. So they're justifying that decision with their logic. And the next thing that I think is really, really important is to have a clear call to action. So depending on what your medium is going to determine your call to action, but make the call to action as easy as possible in general. So keep people on the platform that they are if you can. If not, make it very simple. Make sure that everything that you're doing is mobile responsive, because that's a huge driver for every kind of digital marketing today. You need to have stuff that's mobile responsive. You need to have it so that it's simple, that it works easily, and that it's really, really clear. So, for example, if you say to somebody, click this button to sign up, it needs to take them to a confirmation page, and the confirmation page needs to have the next steps that are going to take place. So, if you're giving something away as a first-time visit, you're going to say, you need to schedule your free appointment within the next 2 weeks. We're going to be giving you a phone call to confirm your appointment date, and here is the next kind of bits of information that you're going to need to know to take this offer. So setting up your expectations and having a clear and concise expectation on how do I get this specific offer, what's the next step, and making that clear is really, really important. If you're sending out emails, which I hope you are, I can't tell you how often clients that I have before we start working together, they send out emails and there's no call to action in the email. So what is the call to action in the email? You need to have something, if you're announcing that you have a really cool flea prevention month and you have a special deal for that, and you just mention it. You're like, hey, yeah, this is great. The person that's reading, they're going to say, well, how do I get this flea prevention? I'm going to have to go to your website. I'm going to Google your website. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to have to find your phone number on your website and then call you. Hopefully I get through. Hopefully it's during normal hours, right? There's no specific way for them to take action. So if you want people to call in, make sure you put a call button in your emails. If you want people to opt in, make sure you put a responsive opt-in button. It's very, very simple, but it gets overlooked so frequently. So I hope that you implement that and use that. And the last thing that I'm going to say is with offers, if you are clear on your offer, you're clear on who's going to want it, how to deliver it to them, the only thing that I would really suggest is that you make your offers native to each platform. So that means that when you have people that are on Facebook, give them a way to take that offer on Facebook. If you have people that are on Instagram, give them a way to take that offer on Instagram and reach them on the platform that they are, because you're going to have a much higher conversion rate. So if possible, that's the best way to go every time. If that's not possible, and usually that means taking more work. So like, for example, if you said, hey, if you want this offer, just comment, we'll message you with a special link, or hey, we'll get your details with the special link, and you have to send out manual messages, then it's going to be a lot more work. So if that's not something that's possible, use a link, create a landing page, make it clear, specific, and test it out. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, be sure to send me a message. Don't hesitate to send me a message. Facebook's a great place to reach me at. If you have any questions or comments in general and need to reach me, Facebook is a great place to do that. So again, be sure to subscribe in iTunes or Google Play. And if you could do me a huge favor, please leave me an honest review. I would really, really appreciate it. Hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you on next week's episode. Have a great day.